Hey, welcome to the RamblingChronicPK show. Tossing up another quick video, and this is a great one for me. I went to the neurologist last week, and I know there are thousands of people out there who you go to the doctor and you really have no hope of what they're going to say or what they're going to do because you've been there 1,000 times. But the last couple of times I've been to this neurologist and he's used a term, and I was not familiar with the term, so it didn't have meaning to me. But as I went through the weekend, I began to think about that term. It kept rolling around in my mind. So I looked up the term, and when I looked up the term, it had much more significance to me than what I had realized. It was a nummular headache. Now, what that is a dime-shaped migraine headache that stays in one spot and never moves. For some people, they can take a little bit of medicine and it'll go away, and they can control it forever. For other people, they can take a pharmacy of medicine and you'll never get rid of it. But at least knowing what it is, they have the ability to devise a plan of attack. And if I weren't even more lucky, the neurologist that I'm getting, he is one of the best neurologists in this particular topic, as far as I know, in the United States. So I can't remember his name, I apologize, but when we look at how we go through, I've been going through this battle for 8 years. And 8 years I have had no solution, no diagnosis, no anything. Just basically, hey, your head hurts and here's some medicine. So now I have a diagnosis, and I don't know what the plan of attack is, but the neurologist that I currently have has showed me kind of how it could possibly be attacked. You know, how you could do this and take this and move this and change to this medicine, and there's several different things. And he rolled out, I bet, a dozen different possibilities, including going to some of the highest, like Cleveland Clinic, if you're familiar with that, and going to some of the highest doctors that America has. Unfortunately, Cleveland Clinic is not as far as it was, because now I live in Cincinnati. It's not across the street either, but it is an expensive thing, and they have a lot of different things as far as equipment, as far as testing. They do a lot of things that other places aren't able to do. It's a very specialized place. If you've heard the Mayo Clinic, the Cleveland Clinic is like the same thing. It's just in Cleveland. So I have the possibility of even ended up there. I don't think I'll end up in that route, but these are all possibilities. And the reason that I wanted to do this podcast is because this is a podcast of hope. This whole podcast and organization that I've done from the beginning has been meant to drive hope. I mean, we've done all sorts of things. We've learned how to fight. We've learned how to use weapons. We've learned how to survive outside with nothing but a kit, or even nothing. I mean, eating bugs and creating your own tinder and fire. These are things that we learned last year, and they're fantastic things that we're able to do. We're able to protect ourselves. We're able to run. We ran last year. We walked, and then we ran. We ended up going a half marathon, which I continue to occasionally do a 5K and keep that going. And I plan to keep on doing that because it keeps my body in shape and it keeps me practicing. Plus, I get the endorphins that helps me, and it actually makes me feel better. So with all of that said, now I get introduced some hope. I mean, nothing may come of this, but I do have a reasonable diagnosis, and there is a reasonable plan of attack. So I just wanted to say to everyone out there who is suffering and you're going through misery and you've gone through it for years and you don't know what to do and you keep going to doctors, and as I've called it 1,000 times, the doctor maze, this doctor sends you to this doctor, sends you to that doctor, and none of them know what to do. If you're in that, it is possible for them to find a certain thing. But I will tell you, sometimes the way there is very difficult. You know, I've given up a job of 22 years and moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, gone through many things just to get to this place, knowing that there was, technology and people and different doctors here that were able to do it. And they have been able to help me. Now, they get on my nerves. There are certain things that I'll tell you, it drives me crazy, and I can't stand the laws and the things of Ohio, and we'll go through that later. But I mean, at least in their own way, I have gained help, and it may be small at this point, but I see that there's a lot of help potentially in the future. There's other things to come. I've got a lot of different podcasts that I want to share with you, but I'm going to leave you with this. Hope is possible, but sometimes you have to move and go a long way to find it. And it may take a long time, but you have to be able to stay the course and believe that it is possible. Survival, survival, survival. If you guys, anybody's been with me, I keep my bracelet on. I've still kept it on the whole time. I've not taken it off. And it has survive. That is the end of it. But it is a train, survive, encourage. That's actually the whole thing. And so if you train, you will naturally get better and you will feel better. Even if you don't solve your problem, you'll feel better. And then you learn to survive. Because you've got this situation, you need to know if the world were to come to an end, what would you do? How would you handle it? If somebody put a bomb in the city that you live in, and you were just out of your home and the things that you were, what would you do? Okay, so all of these things are possible. So you need to learn how to survive. And then finally, which I'm doing, and this, I'm going to leave you with this. There is hope, and encourage others, because that encouragement keeps people trying to find that solution and that answer and that possibility where it may take this step to this step to this step, but at the end of this step, it will solve your problem. I'm not going to promise you I'm going to solve anything. I'm not a doctor, a preacher, a pope. I'm not a psychologist, a psychiatrist. I'm just a guy who goes out there and has been through a lot, and I share a lot of what I've gone through. And I want to tell you, this is a podcast of hope here, folks. I'm telling you, this is major, because I went from being very down to having absolute hope, knowing that it is possible that my condition can be solved. So keep with us. Go to facebook.com/RamblingChronicPK. Go to the website. It may be down right now. We are having some issues because of expense, but it's RamblingChronicPK.com. You can also go to where these videos are, which is YouTube.com/RamblingChronicPK. I hope that you will check us out and stay with us. You guys have a great week. Hold on to that hope, and we'll talk about it more as the week goes on. You guys take care.